Hey guys, welcome back to Young Americans Abroad. My name is Austin.
And my name is Patrick.
And guys, welcome to our show. Today we're going to start off with one player who we're happy to see back on the pitch for his club. And who would that be, Pat?
Yes, that's the boy Christian Pulisic, as they announced there.
Back in black and yellow, too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the old black and yellow. So recapping, right, in the past week, Chelsea again, strong grip on first place, cruised with a 3-0 win against Leicester. So in the game, Christian, I think, subbed on for Havertz there early in the second half and had some impact plays right away. I think in the 68th minute, not long after substituting in fellow sub Ziyech as well. Bends in a pretty amazing cross. Obviously, he's known to do so from the right flank, and Pulisic, almost eerily similar to some of his USMNT goals, burst out, across, the back line, pokes his leg out there for the goal just wide on that chance, but not too long after, maybe 5 or 6 minutes after, not even. The 71st minute, Ziyech again made a darting run from the right inside channel there, sent a low ball across the middle there of the goal face, and Pulisic controlled it and fired it past Schmeichel. So, yeah, it's great to see him back in the score sheet, making an impact, Austin, especially after COVID, the injuries, right, at the USMNT. Obviously, he did it again against Mexico, and now he's doing great things at Chelsea. So, just awesome to be able to talk about him again on this show.
Yeah, honestly. And I think you said earlier off camera that he's only been able to play 208 minutes this season. So not, the amount of game time we want to see from our star player, right, in England, and obviously picked up that injury after international break, before earlier this year. So, I think it's just good to see him back healthy. Good to see that he survived the international window he just had, right,
Yes.
and was able to provide such a big performance against Mexico. I'm really excited. And again, couldn't come back at a better time, right? Chelsea's in first place. They play a big Champions League clash this week with Juventus and Weston McKennie. So hopefully we get to see an all-American affair here in a day. And you guys will probably know the result before this post. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins. Obviously, Chelsea is playing unbelievable right now. But yeah, it's great to see Christian back, right? Exactly what you said. And, just a few other points, right? And even Tuchel had some praises for Christian, right? After such a long time out.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't have verbatim, but something around the lines of, Pulisic has a certain quality, the aptitude and spirit to help any team in the world, pretty much be successful there. So, pretty strong praise there from Tuchel, and there's a lot, again, speculation and things like that, with the tabloids and all that. But interesting enough, I think I saw on Twitter with the K Golazzo podcast, Fabrizio Romano, he's always in and around, the soccer transfer news and what's going on, right? But it looks like Xavi and Barcelona are interested in Pulisic. They're saying Pulisic's not 100% happy with the situation, but has been super professional. But it's very unlikely he'd leave in January, right? Or any type of loan deal. Obviously, Chelsea would want money, but only bringing it up just because it was such a hot topic there in social media, where I think, to be honest, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. I just, knowing Christian, right, and what he's historically done and what we've covered, he's been out for injury, right? And other, COVID and things like that, where it's not like he's been completely healthy and just not playing at all, or just, completely benched. So I honestly don't believe too much of that, but figured I wanted to mention it to you guys in Austin. So what do you think on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think right now Barcelona is still a little too unpredictable, right? Just the situation that they're in. And obviously we hope Xavi comes in and can kind of stabilize it just from, pure third party fan, right? Like it'd be cool to kind of see him come back and really build them into a strong powerhouse, because they are not anything close to that right now. But Chelsea's in a good spot right now, right? Like we want Christian Pulisic playing at the the best team in Europe, and Chelsea, you could make that case right now, right? Like reigning Champions League champs, top of the Premier League right now.
Look at the
So
depth they have too. My gosh,
I know their depth is pretty crazy.
unbelievable. Like, oh, okay, I'll bring in Ziyech and Pulisic, and it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Hudson Odoi even as well, a
Yeah, that's
youngster.
the joy.
It's
Yeah, it's
pretty crazy.
unbelievable.
So yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool at some point in his career to go to Spain and play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. Like, those are, when they're in, great shape and they have things figured out. You're honestly, the two best teams in the world, consistently. But right now it's kind of a little bit different right now, right? That's not really the case. It doesn't, they're not the teams that are super dominant right now.
Yeah,
If you had to say,
fair point.
who would you say? Bayern Munich right now,
You can't go there.
PSG.
You can't go there.
Yeah, right. So, and honestly, Chelsea, right? Chelsea's one of those teams right now that's just better than a lot of other teams right now. So, yeah, I think there may be some truth to the rumors, right? But I don't see it happening, and I hope it doesn't happen. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah, not too much more on that. I agree with you. Sure, I guess you could say nobody's really 100% happy, right? Of course, maybe not 100% happy because he's been injured or anything like that, right? But I think he loves and thrives with this increased competition and just being a part of, again, a team that is really set up in a good spot, right? In the Premier League, they are so rock solid right now, and not to jinx them, right? Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, but they just seem untouchable right now, and one of those teams that just has the magic here, and it would I don't know. I think from Pulisic's end, it'd be kind of foolish, right, to drop down exactly like you said to another team. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, but he's in a good place right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's in a great place to get better and grow, and he doesn't need to change anything right now. So with that, I think we're going to move over to Italy and talk about Gianluca Busio and Tanner Tessman. And we'll start with Busio. So he started for Venezia's most recent game this weekend and provided the game-winning assist in their 1-0 win over Bologna. So the assist came off some nice, skill work in the box to free a player up and get him open. And that player finished, and Busio again picked up another assist for his team there. And again, Sergio Romero, the ex Argentina, excuse me, goalkeeper from 2014 World Cup. He actually just signed recently and has only played like 6 games. So not including him, Gianluca Busio is the highest rated player right now for Venezia. And I really think his consistent play is what's helped them climb out of the relegation zone there in Italy. So they sit right now, I believe, in 15th place with 14 points. It could be 14 with 15 points. I'm somewhat dyslexic, so I hope you can forgive me. And they're in 14th with 15 points. So it is that. So they're not in that relegation zone anymore, and they haven't been for a few weeks, which is great. We talked earlier in the season that it wasn't looking so hot. They didn't start out so great. They had a lot of disjointed play, and Busio, was kind of playing a part in that. Not to unfairly criticize them, but the team was just not very together. And recently, they've looked a lot more jointed as a team. And Gianluca Busio has really been kind of leading them in midfield. And just been that metronome, right? A player that is Pirlo-esque, kind of plays with his head upfield, right, and is always looking to make smart passes and again, kind of take space in midfield that can help him move and orient himself to free up other players and make open passes. And I think he's really done a good job adapting to Serie A play this year, which is, really, really impressive, right? Coming from MLS, playing a full season and then coming over this summer to kind of a new situation, especially after the Gold Cup as well. And, really stepping in and thriving. So just want to give, Gianluca some props here. In our week of thanks and giving thanks, I want to give, Gianluca a little shout out.
I love it. You gotta love that for the holidays. But yeah, I mean, it's just fun to follow this Venezia team, right? With Busio, and what he's been able to do and how quickly he's been able to acclimate. And yeah, maybe he's not the most physical, right, or bodying everybody off in the midfield, but how smart he is with his passing and intelligence and being in the right spots, right, to be able to propel counters or just thread the ball to certain midfielders or wingers or forwards. The way he's able to kind of orchestrate, right? Not to again compare directly, right, to Pirlo, but just some of those qualities I think is really exciting and kind of a unique skill set, for the USMNT moving forward. So yeah, I'm all on the Busio train, and maybe he's getting some free, rides on the gondolas for his success in Venezia.
You're on the Busio bus. I
The
love it.
Busio bus, the gondolier, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and honestly, another player that again is one of those Americans at this team, and that's Tanner Tessman. Tanner subbed on for the final 31 minutes of this game. I thought he looked really good in his cameo. Had some bright moments, just getting up the field, playing with a little bit more aggression and confidence than I feel like we've seen from him at times earlier this year. And I'm just really excited. This is his third game in a row where he's gotten game time. So I really, think he's making headway there. He wasn't really playing much at the beginning of the season. And that was a little discouraging, watching him in MLS. I could, see what type of prospect he is with the size he brings to the field as a number 8, right? A box-to-box midfielder that has good size and athletic ability, but also is, pretty technical for a player of his size. So I was really excited to see him make that move this year. And again, it didn't start out so great, but now he's getting more minutes. I feel like he's really starting to pick up on that style of play they have in Italy, where it's a little bit slower, a little bit more, finesse. You really have to kind of wait for the game to come to you. And I really think Tanner is now figuring out, his moments of when he can kind of, press players, but also have that patience and use that patience to his advantage and help, create situations where, he can be dangerous in, right. So I'm really excited to see more of him. I think we're going to get, more minutes from him down the stretch of this year. Venezia are not very deep of a team. So I think they're going to have to rely on that depth at some point in the season. And I think, again, going into a World Cup year with a player that's playing in Serie A, a team that's, firmly in Serie A right now, I really think the chance is his, right? If he can get a run of games here, get on the field and really show his ability in Serie A, whether he stays at Venezia and does really well there or goes to another team, maybe this summer, I think, his mind should be on getting into that World Cup squad and really making a name for himself with the USMNT as early as this year. I really think that's possible.
Wow, I like it bold, but I like it, Austin. And I feel like he has to be motivated, to see Busio, right, his teammate there.
Yeah, for
probably
sure.
getting some good advice and hanging out there together and just, really improving his play. And I think something interesting you mentioned unique is, really with Tessman trying to understand the style of, finding and choosing his moments, being a little bit more, adept there in terms of tactics and awareness. So yeah, all kind of, again, in the development and in a young player going over to a top end league like this, it'll take some time, but yeah, I really like the trajectory where he's going and what you kind of covered there, right? All the tangibles that he offers. I think he's going to be a huge factor for Venezia as they continue down this push to avoid relegation. They're in a pretty good spot, so it's really fun to follow that team and seeing a lot of folks getting Venezia jerseys, and might have to hop on that train too.
Yeah, right. That's one thing that Venezia does really well is their marketing and their branding of their team with those jerseys. They look sharp. So yeah, props to them for that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, shifting gears here, right? Another interesting topic, but we're heading over to Spain. And just kind of a player and coach, right? We're going to talk about Xavi at Barcelona and Serginho Dest. So just quick update on Dest, right? It looks like he's making some headways with his injury. I think it was a back injury, right? And obviously he's been out for a little bit of time here and missed the U.S. games. He was probably gutted not to be a part of that, especially the Dos a 0. but it looks like he's been training alongside Dembele, who has been out injured as well. Maybe he's back for the Champions League game. We're filming this on Monday for tomorrow, but I feel like it's still pretty unlikely. It's just great to see him though, back in the squad training, going through the motions and things like that for now. But yeah, obviously the news with Xavi, right? Unbelievable. He is a famous player that everybody that follows any just ounce of soccer knows that name from somewhere, and a Barca legend. So bringing him back from that Qatari club, Austin, and having some experience there, saving hopefully this sinking ship that Ronald was off-boarded, right? Walk the plank, you could say. Walk the plank on that ship. And yeah, I think, Xavi just brings so much in terms of embodying Barcelona, implementing a little bit more, I don't even want to say quote unquote strict rules or anything like that, but just having more of a philosophy, identity of how they, are on and off the pitch, I think will be so crucial for this group that's full of young players and talent, but just need to get things right, get together, and kind of, again, play for one another and play that Barcelona tiki-taka style. So I think it'll be great to see Dest implemented in there once he's back from injury. Obviously, they had that win, right, us against Espanyol, 1-0 over this past weekend, and you could see the players were playing a little bit closer together, having those tiki-takas, those passes, right, and really counter-pressing together, having a more higher block, winning the ball back as soon as they turned it over, and really putting the pressure, right, down the opponent's throats. So having Dest with his ability to get up and overlap and just have those quick bursts and runs and combinations, I think would be so exciting to see him, on the outside there. So what do you think with Xavi? Is that going to be a blessing here for Serginho Dest?
Yeah, I mean, I think Xavi coming in is going to be good for Serginho. I think it's going to help him become even more of a technical player and just have that mindset of how to play technical soccer, and just being, I guess, more positionally aware of how important that right back position is, because I feel like that's something that looking at past Barcelona teams, right, like Dani Alves, who we're going to talk about here in a second. Was really a key part of why Barcelona were so good, right? Him getting up the wing, but also getting back to defend. Having him up the flank that far really helps them, create more space on the field and be able to kind of take advantage of that man advantage, upfield basically. So. Yeah, I think he's going to do really well in the system, and I'm really excited just to see him learn from such a legend, right? Like Xavi is such a legend of the game, and it's really going to be cool to kind of see how that plays out. And then yeah, with Dani Alves coming in, right, new signing for Barcelona, 38 now, so probably not going to get too much playing time this year. But again, another player that Serginho Dest can learn from. He really enjoyed those comparisons, fans were making of him to Dani Alves. So now I feel like it's time for him to really kind of embrace that, and learn from a master, right? Dani Alves was one of the best right backs in the world for a period of time. So, and was really a similar player to Serginho Dest. So now is a great time to just kind of take that wisdom, that Dani has and can kind of use it to improve his game and also just, again, improve him off the field and make him a better professional. Not to say that he's not, but, it's just, I'm sure it's going to be interesting hearing about how Barcelona was, right? Especially in comparison to Ronald Koeman's Barcelona, and then also just kind of what it takes to be truly the best.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Kind of seems like a player coach type of, tactic there, game plan. With Xavi, right? Bringing in Dani Alves, and Dani even said himself, I think Serginho has all the qualities and tools to be one of the best, fullbacks there in the world. So definitely some praise there, and to live up to those expectations will be tough. But having him there, his knowledge of the game and what he's been able to do, and like you said, really important, not only on the pitch but off the pitch, how you conduct yourself, training, all the things that we don't really see. We're just seeing what's on the pitch and reading things on social media, right? So culmination of everything will be so beneficial for him. And having Alves and Xavi there, and whether Xavi is a long-term solution or not, it's just in this moment of time, I think there's no better move to bring in a club legend like this. Somebody that has some management experience as well, right? Coaching now, and just somebody that really was a crucial, pivotal, component, right, to that Barcelona that we've come to know and love. And yeah, I'm just really excited for Dest to see what he can do in this system and really kind of up his game, and implement or cement, his status, right, in this changing Barcelona. So as I don't know the financial situations, right, but as they maybe get more players in, the transfers come in the next 2 years. Is he going to be that staple figure, and that kind of lock outside back for the future? I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on what they did this summer, and getting rid of Emerson, and also just again not using Sergio Roberto, and that in that position, and also just how Ronald Koeman used him, right? Like he was the player he moved upfield. Again, that's maybe akin to Koeman, but I think that also just shows the level of talent he is, that he can kind of play. Up the field in La Liga and be successful at it, as a right back primarily. I don't know. I have faith in Serginho Dest's ability. I know we've seen it, for the past few years now. So I think for all those factors, I think Serginho's there to stay. I really do. So, yeah, I think now we're going to move on to Italy for our final player today, and that'll be Weston McKennie. So Weston started for Juventus this weekend, in their 2-0 win over Lazio, and again looked good in this game. Didn't have too many moments where he was in a position to score or even set up any of his teammates, but I think overall just played a very clean, consistent game. And again, I think it's good just to see him being firmly in the starting lineup. Had some goals leading up to this international break, and obviously had a goal in the game against Mexico. So he's really just in that good form, in that good run of form, and playing very freely. And I think when Weston McKennie plays freely, that's when we're going to get the best out of him. So again, really excited to see what he can do in these last few weeks of this year. And right now, I actually have a quote from Max Allegri, Juventus's coach there at Juventus's coach. What else is there to say? And this really, and this really affirms Weston's playing time and why he's getting that playing time, right? And it's not very it's a very direct quote, so I don't want to belabor the point too much, but he says, at this moment, Weston is playing because he is better than the others. So at the very least, we understand fully and clearly now why Weston is playing so much, right? It's because he's better than the other players in the eyes of Max Allegri right now at Juventus. So I think that's always great to get praise like that from your coach, right? To really feel like you are a valuable player there at the club. That's got to feel good, right, Pat?
Yeah, that's not beating around the bush. That's pretty blunt. So if he's not playing, he's not good as the other players are compared. So that's awesome to hear. Him really being a part of the changing tide. It seems like they're starting to get a string of the results together. They're in such a strange spot, not being in that top four right now, and what we've, again, the last decade, right, we've known Juventus to be a part of. So it's I think he's in such a weird spot, because not only a few weeks ago we were talking about maybe some moves to Tottenham or was it West Ham or some of those other teams, right, in the EPL, right. And now it looks like things are good. So I'm really happy for him. It just seems like he's in a good run of form, a fantastic run of form, and I don't really feel like he should move. And if they can turn things around and they're starting to add players, right? I mean, it is one of the top clubs in Italy. They're going to make some changes here. They're not winning titles soon, and I think he could still be a part of the team, in the near term future that is chasing, the top 1 or 2 spots there in titles and Champions League finals.
Yeah, for sure. And this season, like you said, they're not doing so well. So maybe after this year, if they miss out on Champions League and don't even make Europa League, I think that's a possible reality the way they've been playing. This early part of the season, then it may be time to kind of reevaluate, where his future lies. But I think right now and for the winter window, I definitely think he should stay at Juve. Again, if your coach rates you like that, and Max Allegri is a great coach, right? Like he's won Serie A titles. He was, in the talks of a lot of different teams to be their coach before he came back to Juve. So yeah, I think he's got a lot to learn from him. Also from the other players he's playing with, and at the very end of the day, if it doesn't work out based on their performance, like the team's performance, then I think he should look to kind of to move on. But he's getting good playing time right now, Pat, and that's kind of the big thing, right? Like he's in Champions League this year, he's getting good playing time. Yeah, I feel like he should just kind of let it ride, and he's enjoying his time right in Italy. From what we've seen, he's really taken to the culture, and it's been a smooth transition, which isn't always the case. So I think everything considered, I think it would be a good move to just stay put.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And I think it would be interesting, right? Long term, again, it'd be fun, right? We said with Christian maybe going to La Liga, but Weston, I feel like he would be such a fun player in the EPL, just with the intensity, the
Yeah, he would
physicality of
be.
the motor and engine. It would be fun to see, right? But maybe a pipe dream in the future. He's doing great things, like you said, Champions League for now. I think they can squeeze back. It'll be close. I don't see them finishing higher than probably 4th or 3rd, but if they can get into that 4th spot, it's very doable, I think. But yeah, I mean, just the way he's been able to elevate his game and adding those different dimensions and really being crucial in the final third and such a force, right? Just going even more next level in terms of his aerial success and his threat there, being able to have those runs, 40, 50-yard sprints, megging people, going around them and almost clinically finishing, off posts and crossbars. I mean, he is really becoming quite the player.
Yeah, I really think this move to Juventus did wonders for him. Playing under Cristiano Ronaldo for a season or just with him, I think really gave him some more insight on what it takes to be the best, which again, like Dani Alves, right, with Sergio Dest, I think that's important in order to truly be a great player, to learn from a good player, or a great player from the past. That also helps a lot. So yeah, I'm excited about where things are going for him this week. Again, like Christian Pulisic, he's going to be playing in Champions League, playing against Christian Pulisic. So
who are you rooting for? Tell the fans.
That's a tough one. I'm rooting for whichever American scores a goal. And if they both score, then whoever scores 2 goals. No, I don't know. I'm just excited to watch a game, right? With 2 Americans at high profile teams in a high profile game. Like, I really hope both start. I think it's a pipe dream. I don't think Christian Pulisic will start. And I would hope Weston does, but I don't think that's a foregone conclusion either, unfortunately. So I hope we don't get kind of screwed over, right? Get our hopes up and come lineup time, there's 2 Americans on the bench. That would be really disappointing. But maybe I'll say if one team starts an American and the other team doesn't, then I want the team that starts an American to win.
That's
to kind of put an exclamation point on it. Yeah.
I love Christian, but as a Liverpool fan, you all know I can't root for Chelsea, but I'll root for a Christian goal. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair. 2 Weston McKennie goals and 1 Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, guys, that ends this part of our episode. Now we're going to take a head over to Quick Kicks.
All right. Yeah, fans. I think you know what time it is. It's none other than Quick Kicks. And to start Quick Kicks, guys, we are over in France with our boy Timo Weah, who started and played the full 90 in Lille's 2-2 draw against Monaco.
Yeah, and heading over to Portugal, we have Alex Mendes, who scored a goal for Vizela in their 2-0 win. So good to see Alex back on the score sheet.
Kind of on a roll there. And Tyler Adams started and played the full 90 in RB Leipzig's tough 2-0 loss to Hoffenheim.
And staying in that same game, Chris Richards actually subbed on and played the final 17 minutes for Hoffenheim in that 2-0 win over Leipzig. So one American loses out, the other one prospers.
Some bragging rights. And Joe Scally started and played 74 minutes for Mönchengladbach in their 4-0 win over Julian Green's Greuther Fürth. So great for Scally, not so great for Julian Green.
Yeah, and going over to England, we have Anthony Robinson, who started and played 85 minutes for Fulham in their 4-1 win over Barnsley.
Nice to hear. Get back up to the EPL. And Josh Sargent over with Norwich City came off the bench and played 45 minutes. Looked pretty energetic, active in a 2-1 win over Southampton.
And going to Austria, we have Brendan Aronson, who started and played 90 minutes in Salzburg's unfortunate 0-0 draw.
Tough. And Cameron Carter-Vickers, somebody that's being maybe underrated, started and helped Celtic advance to the Scottish League Cup final over the weekend with a 1-0 win. Dominant defensive performance versus St. Johnstone. So exciting things going on with CCV, one of the Scottish Yankees right now.
That's right. And speaking of underrated, we have Luca De La Torre, who started and played 90 minutes for Heracles in their 3-1 win over Fortuna Sittard. And it was really impressive, too. On FootMob, he got an 8.2 rating with no goals or assists. So doing a lot of the, dirty work and dribbling and all the good stuff.
More highlights. He's got to post some more reels there. I'll have to watch that. Nico Gioacchini, he started and played 45 minutes in Montpellier's 2-0 loss. So tough result there.
Yeah, and I believe that was his first start with the team. So, good to see him finally getting, a start there. And we got an injury update for y'all, and that's Alan Sonora. So Alan actually picked up an injury recently and now will be out for the next couple of weeks. So has been playing really well, in Argentina this year. So, we'll have to kind of wait a few weeks until he's back on the field, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's been on a streak, so get well soon there, Alan. But heading over to Belgium with Sam Vines, who started and played the full 90 for Royal Antwerp in a tough 2-1 loss to Sint-Truiden.
And going over to Germany, we have Nico Carrera, who made the Holstein Kiel bench for the first time in his career this weekend versus Heidenheim. So no debut yet, but hey, progressing in the right direction, and we hope to see Nico on the field very soon. Another FC Dallas product. So excited. Surprise
with FC Dallas, right? But last but not least, with our boy, Yunus Musa. He came off the bench and played 13 minutes in Valencia's 0-0 draw versus Real Sociedad.
So that's all for episode today, guys. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel down below.
And don't forget to check out Instagram. Always fantastic content there. Twitter, we're always keeping you all in the loop with so many Americans to keep track of.
That's right. We also have our merch page that we have a link in the bio for, so go check that out. You can get this nice 2026er bus shirt. Also a nice little pub glass we got going on. So, check it out there. And excited to watch Champions League tomorrow. Again, you guys are probably going to know the results by the time this drops, but really exciting games this week. And also this weekend, we've got MLS playoffs coming up. So, just, a great time to watch some soccer, right?
Yeah, this is like one of the best times for soccer. And then, again, just to say it, the Dos a Cero, that was awesome. Watching that behind the crest, I got more invigorated, and for our Americans heading back to Europe for these, different league games, right, or European competitions. So it's nice to see them. Hopefully, they can take that momentum. We'll forget about Jamaica, but take that momentum from Mexico and continue to, prove the world wrong and show that we belong there in the top leagues in Europe.
Yeah, very true. Because again, Pat, one day our goal is to win the World Cup. So I leave you with that. One day we will win the World Cup.